and you guys can. It should be on my page, and you can just share it so people can see it. Let me make sure that it's really working. I don't see it. Anybody see it? I see check marks, but I don't see it. Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay, I can turn my. Okay, so it's on my newsfeed. Y'all can just reshare it. If you're not sharing, just put your device on mute so that it don't pick up. I don't know what's going on with this streaming situation, but it's picking up a lot. Maya, you go ahead and put your headphones on, sis. Y'all pray my strength for the Lord. So, welcome to Creatives Corners Podcast. Oh, wait, I got to put my shades on. All right, I don't like what y'all on mute. All right, take off mute, see what happens. Because I feel like I'm in here by myself. I see y'all laughing, but I don't hear nothing.
I know you make up your mind.
Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, all right. Wonderful. Okay, so to start off, everybody's gonna share one fun fact about yourself so that the audience can get to know you a little bit better. Fun, clean fact. Let's be clear. Fun and clean.
Help us, God, today.
Fun and clean. Fun.
You act like we would be unclean or something. Like, don't do that.
So fun and clean is the rule here. Okay. All right. So whoever wants to go first, your fun, clean fact.
Okay. So fun fact about. Oh, hold on. My name is Brittany. Hi, everybody. Yeah. I'm gonna give a disclaimer. I have a 5-year-old autistic child, and he finna be dinosaurs and Transformers and anything else he can think of. Okay. So if you see me going mutant, that's because we in here mutant. Okay. Amen. But
that's cool.
Let's see. A fun fact about me: I absolutely love and am obsessed with scary movies. All things scary, whether it's a dumb scary movie, a funny scary movies.
You need to
do something for me.
Oh, wow.
That's on that disrespect. See, you said we're gonna be clean. So I'm gonna keep
you right.
clean.
I'm
gonna go on mute. All right, I'm gonna go on mute.
Cuss out hunting back.
Really? So you gonna ball me out on mute? Okay. Who's next? Fun, clean fact. Who got a fun, clean fact? So everybody quiet? Is that the fun, clean fact that y'all quiet?
I'm thinking.
I've been saying though we.
I'm all thinking, and I told y'all what we was doing.
It just came at me so.
You said what, Chris?
It came so fast.
Brandon,
I think it's not registering. So, all right, okay. So Brandon, everybody. Fun fact about me. Okay, I'll stay on the obsession train. This is actually kind of embarrassing, and I'm now mad I'm live, but it is what it is. I am absolutely obsessed with. I have watched and rewatched, and to this day, repeatedly probably will watch for the rest of my life every episode of Braxton Family Values. I am literally addicted. Yeah, and I think at certain points I might be a part of the family. I'm really not, but
not be a part of the family.
I need to watch the latest one, Brandon. So the last one, I need to watch that one. So I'm with you.
Not a Brandon.
Brandon, you cousin Brandon. They know you as cousin. They know you as cousin.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I can go now.
Okay.
Since we talking about fun fact, I watch Living Single every day, and I watch it like every Saturday, the marathon, just like I have not seen it before. I could sit there and watch it all day, every day.
I'm here for all of it. I'm here for every bit of it. And one of the main videos we have later on is actually Living Single. So you will be. So that was just confirmation. God was just confirming some things. Morgan, you next in line for a breakthrough. What's your clean fun fact, sis?
My clean fun fact is I am actually double dreaming.
For
I
I
am.
never knew that.
It's just nasty. Yeah.
Right. That's not nice. In case anybody didn't know, Brittany and Morgan are sisters, like the real kind, not the play sister kind. That's not nice, Bert. I did not know you was double jointed. Lord, these I can't. Chris,
All right.
I can't hear
I'm gonna go
nothing.
back to the.
okay.
All right, there we go.
All right. So I have an obsession with watching people get their hair straightened.
Okay. I can get with that.
I do. Like to see it go from being like really rough and tough, and then to see them bring that flat iron, and yeah, I don't know if that's because I used to do hair, but I have a session for it.
That might have something to do with it.
I can see that. Because I do hair and makeup, so I have an obsession with hair and makeup videos. So
So y'all can just sit there and just watch it, like be like
yeah,
gazing at it.
Mhm.
I watch it like all
And
day.
y'all
Like
stay
I
awake
watch
while
them.
they do that?
Yeah,
Hey, Graham,
he said you stay awake
Probably
while
put me
you
to
while they
sleep.
do that.
That's probably like low key ASMR for me. Like I would probably fall asleep.
It's like a miracle to see it be like real tough and nappy, and then
okay, we can go with that. My fun fact is that
You
I
crazy.
am a
Oh,
ooh, thank you, Nick. I couldn't get it out. My mouth did it, but nothing came out. I was just like, my fun fact is that I am obsessed with anything Ratchet TV, so much to the point that I do have a subscription with Zeus, and I have watched everything on Zeus, and I don't care. I like ratchetness. I don't know why, because I'm not ratchet. I'm saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled.
Oh,
But-
I didn't know we.
okay, let
No,
everybody
we
back
get away
away from this. Let everybody back away from the phones. Put a little strike her.
Wait a
She
minute,
talking about she not
You're right,
ratchet.
you gotta add that to the.
Morgan, I'm not
You gotta add
ratchet,
that to
right?
the end. I feel like it's part of it.
Oh, them eyes.
Her
I'm
silence
pleased.
speaks volumes. Okay, her silence speaks volumes.
And then my mother being real disrespectful right now. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay. All right, so let's jump into the whole world of creativity. Just kind of briefly, like 5-7 minutes, not the 5-7 minutes that preachers use, but like the real 5 to 7. About how you
I
realize.
feel tried. I just want you to know. I feel tried. It's okay.
No shade at all. But how you kind of realized that creativity was just like first nature for you.
I'm gonna go first on my. Oh no, somebody else can go because my child bite.
I'm gonna say
Go ahead.
I can go. When I realized it was first nature for me, when everything I tried, I did and I did it well. Just off of, I tell everybody all the time, I go to YouTube University.
Yeah.
So like anytime I could just watch a video and I can duplicate it or even do it better than what I've seen, like I taught myself how to braid from watching YouTube videos. I create everything custom, and it was just like, okay, so I got a little creative bones in my body, because everything I try, I'd be like, I don't know how it's going to come out, but then it always comes out good.
Okay. That makes sense. Who next on The Price is Right?
I'll jump in there. So I actually, so me and Kristen will probably do this all day because we think too much alike. It's not fair. So I think what did it for me that made me realize I was a creative individual in general was when I literally went to private school wearing the same thing everybody else wore, doing the same thing everybody else did, and I realized that I was most comfortable when I was doing what was different. When I recognized that there were things I could do that everybody else couldn't or did not do the way I did. So kind of like the separation from the monotony of everybody else really kind of pushed me into the realization of, oh, so I actually am unique. I'm special. Like this is something that is just me. So.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What we doing? Rock, paper, scissors?
I'm gonna say for me, I think it was when my mother used to always tell me, "Girl, sit down. Girl, be quiet," because I was always doing something. Whether I was flying around the house dancing, I was up singing, I was playing with stuff, like putting stuff together that was supposed to be together, but when you put it together, it made sense. Like it, I think it was, and it like Morgan said, like trying stuff and you get it like that, and I'm like, oh, I'm bored. On to the next thing. Like it just, I don't know. That's how it kind of came about for me.
Okay, Nick.
For me, it was when I got my first butt whipping for cutting my doll's hair, my expensive doll's hair. And my mother knew that, like, she was like, wow, she is a gift. And,
But
like,
she beat you, though.
I mean, I got in trouble for it, but, like, you know, the Magic Mystery doll's hair?
Yep.
And, you know, I made some doll's cars. Like, I literally cut an asymmetrical bob in that doll's hair, and she was like, I got a butt whipping for it. But then she was like, wait a minute, the doll's hair is cut like asymmetrical. And my mother did hair too, so she was like, doll's hair is cut asymmetrical, and it's like really neat. And I was like 8. And she was
I
like,
think she should have took that butt whooping back. I think she should have.
but I really think so too, because now, you know, now this is what I do for a living. I do hair, makeup, and fashion for a living. So I'm like, can I get my butt whipping back? Like, bro, I'm making money off of.
Well, at least you cut the doll's hair, not your hair. So I do think she should take that butt whipping back.
I mean, right, I wasn't one of them kids to cut my hair. I cut my doll's hair. So,
Chris.
Okay, so I was having some issues technically.
You fine? Yeah, we just did you right
I
on
would
in and out.
say, for me, I think I can go back far as probably like 4. My imagination has always been wild. So basically, you know, I write or whatever. I do stage plays, and that's just a little bit of what I do. But when I was like 4, I would come to the church and I would like tell the people that my name was something else. I would be in full character. So every story that I came up with, so it got to the point where like every Sunday they was like, well, who are you this week? But I would be in full character. I would have like, I would want to do costumes. I would want to do everything. And then I started writing because, I always was writing poetry. But my mother, she punished me for something. I don't even know what I did. But she punished me. And she was like, I'm taking the TV. You can't go outside. You can't do da-da-da. So I was like, I'm going to write. So I went in my room and I like started writing books. And then I would act it out in my room. And I think I probably was like, I was around like 7. So I think from then on, everything that I touched, I never wanted anybody to teach me. I wanted to figure it out myself. So when it came to hair, when it came to makeup, and Brandon I'm gonna try to do anything. So that's pretty much how I really got into creativity. So it's pretty much like whatever you put in my hands, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I think you should have got. I think you should have got your butt whooping took back too, though, because you're
right.
Exactly.
Like, I agree. You want to come over and tell her? Like, I mean, now it's like they support as parents, but I agree. Like, they should have been a little bit easier. We're
gonna take that one back when we get up to glory. We're gonna be like, Jesus, can you take this one?
But you know what? I think sometimes when it comes to, you know, sometimes if your parent, because my mom is a creative, but sometimes they don't know how to parent a creative kid. So sometimes what you're seeing in a child, you may think it's like them being, you know, mischievous or something like that, but you don't really realize at that moment, like that was a gift, you know?
Right.
So for me at 4, when I came up with a whole storyline and was coming to church changing my name, right then something should have said, let me put this girl on Disney or, you know, on TV or something. But because, you know, we went to church and church people didn't act, you know, it was like, cut it out. But sometimes they are not equipped with how to handle or how to raise creatives, especially if their creativity is still locked up.
Right.
And another thing, like I was not only creative, but I was extremely prophetic as a kid. So what they what my by me being prophetic as a child, they equated that to lying.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, stop lying. Like, you're always lying. So when it happened, it was just like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So being creative and being a prophetic child, it was like my parents didn't know how to handle me.
I think
Because
the crazy thing is that with being a creative, like there's no one definition.
Mm-hmm.
Like
right.
there's no one path, there's no one blueprint for this type of creative whatever. I mean, I think that's the beauty of being creative, that even like my mother is extremely creative, but we learn differently. Like we understand differently. Even basic conversations, it's like you interpret things different because you see, as a creative, you don't just see black and white.
Right.
Mhm.
You see a little bit of blue, you see a brown tint. Like you don't just see
You literally
two
see on a
different colors.
spectrum, like it's no
Yeah.
different.
Exactly. So like when you look at it, and that, for me, that's when I knew, like, whoa, something's a little off. When I could look at one color and see other colors, and it was like, that don't make sense. Like, yes, it's blue, but I can see other colors that made it be what the blue hue that it is. And that was my thing for me. Like I always see stuff that's not necessarily visible to the normal eye.
Mhm.
We, as creatives, we do that with people, we do that with relationships, we do that with everything. Like if you're creative, you just take that to every aspect of your life. Like at that point, you just but I think that's the beautiful thing and the challenging thing, because it's no one way to groom, nurture a creative. Because what I'm gifted at might not necessarily be what you're gifted at. And so we have to figure out how to mold and nurture whatever your one thing or multiple things, because all of y'all have like multiple different gifts and abilities, but how to really nurture that from a different perspective, from a different angle. So y'all's creative. That's all I'm finna say. We have a couple questions that were actually sent in that I want to just dive into. I sent it to y'all, so please do not have your eyes all bucked like you didn't know. First question, what's the scariest thing about being creative?
I would say for me,
Y'all know y'all sisters, because both of y'all started talking at the same time.
go ahead, Morgan.
I would say the hardest part about being creative, for me, is one, other people not understanding my creative, and two, fear of failing with something that I was blessed with.
Mhm.
So it's like, if I fail, I was blessed with this gift. If I'm failing, what I'm doing wrong? So that's really my fear. So it's like, do I tap into it, or should I play it safe in fear of messing up the gift that was given to me?
Right.
That's
Go
me
ahead,
too.
sister. You better go ahead, sister. Nice. That was real deep. Go ahead.
That's me too. Like it's not really for me. It's not the fear of It's not the fear of failure as much as the fear of success.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because
If we're talking actually like the scariest thing about being a creative, for me, and it goes on one of my obsessions, daggone X-Men, I sometimes fear my own power. Because we often box ourselves in, even though we know there's no box. So we sometimes we'll talk ourselves out of things that we can actually do, because in our minds, well, that's not actually possible. And then we're saying it out loud, while mentally the creative mind is saying, "Are you stupid? We can do more than that." So it's almost, if I'm biblical, it's almost like the concept of God can do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask and think. Well, the reality is we're not even operating in our full creative minds most times. So we stop ourselves short of doing greater, or exceeding abundantly above what we can think about, because our minds get caught in the finite or the stuff that keeps us bound. So I often freaked my own self out with, well, you can't accomplish that. And then I do more than I could anyway, because I get put in a position where it's like, yeah, well, the normal way's not going to work. So I got to figure out something.
You took it right where I was going to take it with the fed success thing.
Right. I mean, just a quick disclaimer for the people that's watching. We know that it's some type of sound. We don't know what it is. We try to fix it. It's not. As long as y'all can hear us, just, we just got bad sound system in the church today. I don't know. What scares you most about being creative?
I think the scariest part for me about being creative is feeling that God believes more in my gift than I do. Like I believe everything the Lord can do. I believe that what He's instilled in me is going to come. But I think my fear comes in when I doubt myself. I don't doubt what He can do. I doubt if I'm good enough to do what He's called me to do. So that's like one of the scariest things. And I think another thing is that I have so much in my mind that I don't know where to start, and I have a fear of starting and failing. I guess that's one thing, like to start and I start wrong and then it doesn't work out and I'm like, okay, well, I'm on to the next thing, and then that just moving too fast.
Right. That makes sense. Chris?
Yeah. I think if I was to say one, and the reason why I say was to say one, because I'm a little bit impulsive. So when it comes to me, I get an idea and I do it, and then later I'm like, crap, what the heck did you just do? You know what I mean? Like, so I never even allow fear to set in to do something. And Brandy, I just be like, oh, this is what I want to do. And boom, and I start it and I do it. And then like, after I'm in it, I'm like, are you crazy? But by that time, it's already, pretty much it's already done and I roll with it. But if I did have a kind of fear, it would pretty much be not accomplishing all or not appreciating what I have done. Because sometimes you feel like you have to do so much that you don't even appreciate some of the work and some of the strives that you have already started and that you've already have created. So I think one of the things that I fear is pretty much dying with a script still haven't hit the stage, or a show not on TV, or another building not that I haven't done yet. So I think that will be my fear. But when it comes to the actual creativity part of it, I'm actually fearless. Like if I got an idea, I'm just fitting to do it, and everybody gonna have to come with me on my team, and we're gonna figure out how to get it done. That's kind of like how I live. I'm a big risk taker.
But that's the good part about creatives and creativity. Even if our work, even if we set out the blueprint, we're just here to set out the blueprint. So if we set out the blueprint, somebody else can come along and finish the work. You understand what I'm saying? So if you set out the blueprint, and let's say you have a child tomorrow, your child can come along and finish your work.
I'm not having no child tomorrow, though.
I'm not saying it like that, but what I'm saying is whoever comes behind you, or whoever you leave your legacy to, can finish the work that you completed. Yeah. Because your work will still live on. Basically, your work will still live on. It's not like your work will die when you die, so to speak.
Sure. I think what scares me most about being creative is the fact that I'm creative. I think it's the fact that sometimes I feel too creative. And I'm like, this is not normal. The fact that I can be creative in various entities of my life, whether it be at home, whether it be on a canvas, whether it be at church, whether it be at work, whether it be podcasting, I sometimes my creativity scares me. Sometimes what I see scares me. And I think Dr. John Lund has said this, you know, your dreams don't scare you, then they aren't big enough. They're big enough, clearly. Because I literally live and breathe creativity. Like even if I decide to let it lay dormant, it's still being nurtured in some aspect because it's still in my mind. I'm still trying to be like, oh, okay, this is how you put this together. This is how you would do this. And I think me being creative and having, like Nicole said, when you don't leave it just for you, you make sure that your child has it or whatever. The fact that I don't just have my creativity, I have a generations of creativity that now sits on me to, in some regard, manifest. Like my grandmother was creative. My grandmother that's still here is creative. My mother is creative. All of my aunts are creative. My cousins are creative. Like it's a lot of creativity. And I just feel like it's too much creativity. And sometimes I just want to be a regular person that can see that color and say, that's purple, that's blue, that's yellow, that's green. Not that, it has as many dimensions as it does. So that's my take on it. Yeah, I don't know.
If I can say one more thing, I think another thing that scares me about being creative is that I know that I'm creative, but when it's time to be creative, I'm searching so hard for something different that I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're sitting like, instead of sitting there waiting for God to give it to you, you be trying to figure it out on your own. Like you trying to move past what you already know, when what you already know and what you're already doing is working. We're just too impatient to see the fruits of our labor.
Right.
So yeah,
I think that's a part
very,
of the
very
game
scary.
though. Like we're forced to process multiple things at one time. And sometimes it's literally the act of accomplishing one thing that's already started, knowing you have an idea for something else, refreshing something that you did way back in the day that now you want to revamp and do it differently. And then in the midst of all that, become new ideas for stuff all at one time. And you still got to kind of maintain all of that while not losing your mind, number one. Number two, punching somebody in the face because they don't understand why you so much going on. And three, really trying to take it all in. Like my biggest thing for me, especially growing up, was I would get so much stuff at one time, and until I got smart enough to do this, I would forget things because I wasn't writing them down or I wasn't, storing them somewhere. Like one of the things I do is I write songs, so I would easily get a melody and lyrics, but wouldn't voice record it or wouldn't do something. And 3 hours later, I'd be like, what happened to what I heard earlier? And I remember none of it. Granted, the next morning it would come right back to me, but it was just, there were so many things going on at one time. It's kind of like a normal person sits and takes a math test and does one math problem at a time. I feel like a creative looks at the paper and we start literally solving multiple problems at one time. And even in that process, okay, English class is next, so I need to make sure that essay is written before I go to study. Like it's just so much at one time, and you almost got to learn how to compartmentalize so that stuff gets done, but not losing what comes with it. It's like a rush.
Yeah, my mother tells me she lives every day of her life. Tell me every day that I never complete a task. Like I'll start something, I'll launch it, I'll put it out there, and then it's like it's up in cyberspace.
That's me.
Open with the stars, and she
that's
me. Finish what you started, and I'm like, I can't, because even though I've started this, there's a whole nother idea that has come, and it's fresh. When you're creative, when stuff comes to you, you gotta get it like now, like. You can't, like, a lot of times I'll pull up my phone and just put it in the notes in my phone because if not, I'm going to lose it. Like, you just, it's almost like a wheel that just keeps turning nonstop.
Yeah.
So,
when
it's like we haven't.
To that, when it comes to that, what I've learned is, I started to pray about, God, is this idea for now or for later? Because sometimes when we get an idea, we think that it's for right now and it's for this moment. but
Right.
it's not for this moment. It's something that he's giving you now, but he's going to build it. So it's kind of like continue to work on what you're working on, but still hold on to this idea. So one of the things I committed myself to do was whatever I started, I was going to try to finish. What has been beneficial to me is that with all of the different things that I do, I have a team that help me. So even if I'm not able to give 100% of me to one thing, the team is still allowing it to move forward and grow. And I pretty much like step in, oversee, make sure, whatever the case may be. And then one thing may have 100% of me and something else may not, because those teams are running. And that's the other thing about creatives. We got to sometimes learn how to trust people who understand our creative language to allow them to help us build what we are building, so that we won't stress ourselves out and be so overwhelmed, because literally, while you're in the middle of one project, you'll get, let's do this, let's do that. Even with, I just opened up a studio. It was so random. And I was working on trying to get something filmed. And it was just like, why did I open up a studio? Like, what are you thinking? But it's when you have teams and people that can help you do things, and realizing that even though I'm a creative, I don't have to always work by myself. I have to find a team that speaks my language.
Team me, please, Jesus. Hey, Jesus. Team.
Exactly.
Team me, please. Team me, please.
No,
That is very true.
it definitely
Very
it has
true.
to be a group effort, and I can honestly say that's something that I low key stole from Kristen. Because I was very much so a one man band. I'm very used to it. Yeah, I mean I'm telling you, I was very much a one man band, and it does get overwhelming because you literally, as creative as you are, you can't process everything at one time. So like it's nothing for me to literally shoot a text to somebody on the team. This is what I'm thinking. Here's the concept. I don't know the process. I don't know where we start. I don't know what's next. That's your project. Run with it. And then I don't even have to deal with it at that point. At that point, it's in a box where somebody else can handle it. And I just have to wait and get the format and process from them. Because then once I get that, then I can almost say, oh, all right, well, that makes sense. And now I can move on to this part of it. And it just keeps the balls rolling. But it got extremely complicated trying to book venues, write scripts, run rehearsals, handle music. It just got to be to a point where you almost shut down because it's like, I can't do it all at one time. So I absolutely subscribe to the school of Chris Carn. Yeah. It's no joke. You gotta have help.
See, and I'm the opposite. I'm that creative. Just like if I do get help, and then the help is like, now I'm borderline perfectionist, like in my creativity. And if you're
not borderline, girl. Bye.
What you mean I'm not borderline? Oh, I am.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I take it back. I am a perfectionist in my creativity. So if you're not like up to par to whatever I ask you to do, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to tweak that in 2021. But like, so if I ask you, like, you know what I'm saying, do something, and it's like not done on the timeline, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give you some bend. If I tell you I need a timeline, and then I come back close to that timeline, and it's like nothing gets accomplished, I'm gonna just snatch the project from you and be like, bruh, I'm not even gonna ask you twice. I'm gonna just do it myself.
And
I think one of the things that I will one of the things that I will say,
I'm gonna work on it in 2021.
One thing that I will say when it comes to building a team, one, you set the standard for what your work is. One thing I will say is I have been blessed to work with people that have my heart and my vision of what I want to do. But the other thing is, even if it's someone that may be a friend or related to me, when I'm in mode of building and creating, I'm about my brand and I'm about the business. So we're going to separate the friend part. And not only that, what I do is I teach and cultivate those who want to be on the team to get to the level of where I need them to be. Because some people have and that's the other thing about being a creative. You can see the potential in other people and teach them how to pull that out of them, because sometimes people are not as comfortable in their creativity as you are. So what it does is when I'm building and I'm sitting with my team and I'm working with my team, these are the standards, these are the things that have to be done, because if this is not done and it's not to this certain level of standard, then that messes up the brand, that messes up the business, that messes up the sales. So many different things that go into it. So for me, those are actual teachable moments. And so that even if they do bring you something and it's not back to par, that's a learning moment to say, you know what, let's work on it this way. Let's try this way. Let's see how this looks, and opposed to just saying, okay, you know what, you're not for this team, after a certain amount of time maybe. But the thing about it is being, a leader. And one thing I will say, everybody that's a creative is not necessarily a leader. So you got to learn your strengths when it comes to that. But when you build your team with the standard of whatever your business is. But the other part about that is you have to meet that standard.
Right.
I couldn't ask anything of my team to do or to be on any type of level that I am not on. If I say rehearsal start at 7, that means rehearsal start at 7. That means I'm there before 7. My show we starting on time. Who's on that seat or who's not in that seat, the show is starting. When you show up, to the show, customer service, excellence, my character during the whole season, I am showing you and distributing to you what the standard of KOK is. That way, it's easy for you to learn from me versus me just telling you, but you're actually seeing it through me.
True that. Y'all helping me.
Agreed.
Y'all helping me.
Agreed. And I mean, that's why I said what I said when I said I've given. This is like I've had a styling assistant before, and I gave her multiple times, and she did not show up multiple times, and so therefore she was fired on the second time. I can't continue to give you. I'm not going to give you 3 strikes, you're out. I don't do 3 strikes, you're out. I give you 2.
Cool. Yeah. From a business standpoint, that's definitely not cool.
Yeah, from a business standpoint, no, I don't do. If I try to build my team, I'm not gonna give you 3 strikes, you're out. First time, I kind of work with you. Second time, no, you done.
The next question is, and then after that, I want you all to share what businesses you have. All of you all are business owners of your own, and I have completely admired the way that you all handle yourselves professionally, and the fact that you promote you. Some of us could probably go in that area, but I'm not gonna call nobody out. Is what I'm trying to say. But the last question that I wanted to ask is, and I'm gonna start with Morgan. What do you think is the most common misconception of gifted people or creative people? Or of you? What do you think? As with
that we think we better than everybody else.
Yeah,
I would say that's the most common, because we know we have these gifts and we're confident in our gifts, and instead of it coming off as confidence, it comes off as cockiness. So yeah, that's what I would say is the most common.
How do you what is your response?
I don't respond.
The clean response.
No, I don't respond to it. We're gonna get, because if I do respond, it won't be so clean. So I'm gonna keep me and my God-given talent to myself, and opinions is like butts. Everybody has one,
You're
so
right.
you're entitled.
Oh my!
You're right. And she got a point. Like it's not cocky. It's just I see things differently. Like just be open to the fact that I have a different perspective. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Brittany, are you beating your kids, or is you open to answer this question? Or
Just give me 1 second here.
Okay. Brandon, what do you think the biggest? She about to.
I hate to use this word, but I gotta be honest. I think one of the most common misconceptions of creators is that we actually literally are crazy. Now, Chris, shh. But again, it's a different spectrum of thinking. I've literally had people, my team believes 150% in me, but I hear daily, if I could use the word crazy on you, yo, I would. But I'm not going to because I know that what you're doing actually doesn't make sense. But no, I feel like sometimes people literally think we are not sensible in making sure that what we want or what we see comes to pass. So I feel like a lot of us get knocked down, especially probably when we were younger. A lot of us got knocked down feeling like we couldn't achieve things because people made us think we were crazy. People challenged our thoughts. People thought our ideas were too left field. People thought that we were setting ourselves up for failure versus understanding that, again, like you said, Jump, we see things differently. So the concept or the notion that something's not right with us, like our minds can't be I'm not looking for normal in the world that we live in. Like that's not my thing. So I think it's often thought that because we don't look like, act like, talk like, walk like, move like everybody else, there's something wrong.
Yeah, that's accurate. And so, what's your response to the misconception? The clean response. I seen it.
I mean, I came here in '86 the way I was. I'm gonna leave here whenever God says so. The way I am, I can't change it, and it's kind of almost like it is what it is. Like Morgan said, you're entitled to your opinion. It ain't gonna change a thing about me. I can't help but be who I am. Like I don't know how to. Okay, let me take that back. I'm an actor, so I know how to imitate. But what I can't be is not genuine when it comes to me and who I am and how I do things. My choice.
Sure, accurate. Nick, what do you think is the most misconception? Is that am I saying that question correctly? I feel like I'm not.
What's the most common misconception of being a creative?
There you go. Boom.
The most common misconception of being a creative for me is that people think that for me, is that people think that just because I'm a creative, that I can't be myself, or I'm limited to, like, I would say, like, just because I'm a creative, I'm not myself. Does it make sense?
That makes sense. So let me ask you this. So just for clarity, so are you saying that the two are not the same?
They are the
you and the you. Are they not one and the same?
They are the same, but they not. Like, for instance, like when the public me is not the private me.
But as far as like creativity though, the creative public you and the creative private you, are they not the same people?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the creative public me is not the creative private me.
Okay.
So that's why I said people think that, you know what I'm saying, the creative, the person that they see in public. Like, for instance, the fashion stylist, the hairstylist, the makeup artist that you see in public is bubbly, is funny, is outgoing. But in real life, I'm quiet. To myself. I'm actually like a totally different person. Like, you would never guessed it. Like, I'm just laid back.
That makes sense. And your response to the misconception?
Like, it's not always cracked up with it. Like, a person in public is not always what they seem because it's just their job.
Okay.
Like, a person could be Beyonce in public, but you know what I'm saying? They could just be like,
oh, I be Beyonce in public and private. I am sick. No, I'm not.
But you know what I'm saying? A person could, that's the common misconception. Like, oh, she always on 10 in public.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, she always on 10. Like, and they would think I'm on 10 everywhere. Like, no, I don't want to be bothered at home. Like, once I get home, don't talk to me about fashion. Don't talk to me. I hate it.
Okay.
Don't talk to me about, like, I hate it.
Chris, did you? I don't think you went. Use the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Come on down. She won. I would say, and I would say this coming from a Christian perspective, I would say that I'm supposed to be in a box. It's like people know that you are creative and know that you do certain things, but you know, and I kind of posted this the other day, and I tagged Lily in it. Yeah, I may be a Christian and I may be a preacher, but I'm not that conservative, uptight, non-personality person. So a lot of times it's like, you know, the church world has a hard time accepting a person who is funny or still have a big bubbly personality or does, you know, different things. And I had to realize that, you know, God put me on this earth to do entertainment, and in that entertainment is ministry. You know, do I preach and stuff like that? Absolutely. But that's not the totality of who I am. So I would say for the last couple of years, you know, it kind of felt like people were trying to put me in a box, you know, like, you know, the older people at the church was like, you know, well, you got to watch how much jokes and plays you play on social media because people not going to take you serious. But in my mind, I'm like, if I'm funny, people going to come to my show because they know they're going to have a good time, you know. So to think about it is like, sometimes I feel like the misconception is that if you are in ministry, that's all of who you are, and your creativity has to be in that box of what ministry is. And I'm pretty much like, I don't have a box. So whatever God puts me and whatever He does, because His hand is on me and it's on every project that I do, that is always ministry. You know, it may not be in the pulpit, it may be in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? But don't limit me to the box of what you think I should be as a Christian, because I believe that I was a creative before I was a preacher.
True. Agreed. And well, you answered both questions, but yeah, that pretty much, yep. That part. I think for me, the most common misconception in my experience is that people feel like that they have to understand or approve what I create. And they don't. Because I don't understand or approve what I create. Like, if it's given to me by the good Lord, I don't understand it either. So, but they feel like, you know, if they don't understand it, then it's not something that can grow or can be nurtured because they don't understand it or they don't approve it. And the misconception is just the fact that I don't understand it either. And that's the beauty and burden of being creative, that a lot of times God will give you stuff and you put it out there and they be like, I don't understand why she doing that. Why she doing that? Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm me. Hello, Lee. I'm Lee first before I'm anything. I didn't come out the womb Reverend Lee. I came out Lee. But that they have to, that it has to have their stamp of approval. Like your plays or your books. Like when I wrote a book, the first book I wrote, it was nothing about it said Jesus. But it was a very good contextual like book. Like it was just what was in me and I had to get it out. And so I'm not going to suppress what's in me because you don't get it or it don't connect to you or it don't make sense to you. And a friend of mine told me a long time ago, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. It don't have nothing to do with you. That's their perspective. And a lot of times people probably hating on you for stuff that you don't even want. This is a gift that I didn't ask for. This is a gift that came with responsibility and weight that I probably wouldn't have signed up. You know how you sign up for different committees at the church? I wouldn't have put my name on this list. I wouldn't have. I'm grateful for it. But I wouldn't have voluntarily just been like, oh Lord, make me a creative. No thanks. I'm good. Just Just make me a believer. That's all I need. You good, Mo?
I'm hearing the aliens again. They're trying
It's
to
a
come
lot
through
of
my-
it's a lot of gifts that I probably wouldn't have signed up for.
I'm gonna get it together before the next podcast.
All right, but don't judge me. I'm good, but my phone died. I'm in the house.
It's a lot of gifts the Lord gave me that I probably wouldn't have signed up for. Okay, like for real, and I would give them back.
And I think that sometimes why, and then we're gonna shift to. I think everybody answered. Morgan's signal went out again. No, Brittany didn't answer. Okay, but I think that's why God kind of bamboozles us sometimes. Because if He gave us the layout, if He gave us what the cost of certain things would be, people like me, I wouldn't be able to do it.
I'm still trying to give them gifts back. I don't want this mess. I don't want it. I like, bruh, you can have it.
Yeah, so that's just me. Brittany, are you finished yelling at your kids? Because I actually hear them screaming from in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, they screaming. So you might hear something in the background. But anywho, I think we have a few common misconceptions. One of them, I think, is that we do the most. We do too much. Like we are over the top. We, like Brandon said, we crazy. And it's not that we do the most; it's that you just not where we are.
Mm-hmm.
That was the nice
That was
way of
shady.
saying it.
That was nice shit.
That was just a nice way of saying it. I think another misconception is that we know how to do all things creative. Let me tell you something. I don't know how to write a script. I might be able to do some hair or fix an eyelash or do some little resin stuff, but to write a script, that's
Not fix the eyelash.
God didn't call me to do that yet. He didn't call me to do that. So I don't, just because I am creative and I do, there are a lot of things that I know how to do. That does not mean that I know how to do everything. And people put expectations on you because you are creative to be able to do this and do that. They feel like when you start a project, like I do resin, they feel like if I do resin, I should know how to do all things resin. No, that's not always the case.
Right.
So I feel like that's another misconception. Like,
Can I add on that topic? I think another misconception of us being creatives is that while we love being creative, people always think that we love being creative for free.
Oh, I was
Praise
I was
him.
thinking that in my mind. You my sister, because I was thinking that. I swear to God.
Like, yeah, like, oh, you like doing this? Can you do this for me? Can you do me
Or
this
discount
favor?
it.
And can you do me that favor? And it's like, okay, where your money at?
It's us that does it. Though.
Yeah.
It's us.
Or discount it.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But that's why you just, I mean, I know I have that issue sometimes because I be feeling bad because people be asking me to do stuff and I be like, yeah, and then they be like, wow, guy, because Ray needs some shoes. Well, you can buy Ray some shoes. Then you can go ahead and slide in my Cash App. God is gonna get that boy on the Cash App and Ray shoes. But I think a lot of times, I think that's important. It's important to set the standard that that's never okay. Like I can never, even in the development process of your gift, it still couldn't be free. Because then they can say, I remember when you was just starting and you blah blah blah. No, you still gonna buy a ticket. I don't care if you're in my living room and I will wait for you in the living room. You won't give me this $10 for the ticket, and then when you see me down Broadway, you gonna give me a couple money. But I think we set the standard for people to think that our gift is free.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I don't even feel bad about it no more.
That's fine. Remember me when I'm in the living room. Remember me when I'm in the living room, but support me and love me enough or believe my gift enough to pay for it then. Matter of fact, pay for it then while you can actually afford it before it gets to a point where then you say you can't. Because I think that's been one of my pet peeves when it comes to being creative in general is that people talk good about being supportive, but when it comes down to make the rubber meet the road, nobody wants to show you how much they actually support you. And that I'm big on that. Like I want to buy tickets, I want to buy books, I want to show up. Like I don't want to just say I believe in you. I want to put my mouth where my money is. Like no, if I'm showing you, the best way I can do is by action, not by word.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
And
think
I
think
absolutely I struggle with people saying stuff like, "Oh, well, you're in you're a kitchen beautician, or you're doing your work in your basement, or you're doing your work in your room, so I don't think I should pay that much." No, you're paying for my craft, not my location.
Right.
yeah.
So like you're paying for my talent, you're
True.
paying for what I do. You're not paying for the fact that I'm sitting here on the back porch with this unfoldable table making whatever it is that you want to be made.
Right. Right.
I told that to somebody and they told me I told it to somebody and they told me it was like, well, you need me. I was like, well, hold up, you came to me for my services. So do I need you or they was like, well, you need my money.
Brittany got a point though. Like at the end of the day, regardless of the location, you still gonna leave out with your edges with.
Right.
Like, it's the same hairstyle you would have got at the shop.
And sometimes probably better.
Yeah, sure.
But I think also with the creators part, I think that we do have to create, a level of balance when it comes to, discounts. And when it comes to discounts and partner, one thing I will say is there's some people that I will never charge anything. And the only reason why is because they invest in me or they also bring me clients and customers. So it's knowing who to help. The other thing about it is I am major on experience. So I can charge what I charge because I give you a full package experience. Like, and honestly, in my shows, and Brandon can contest, and I keep saying Brandon because he's been in my show. Brandon, and I've helped him with him. Brandon knows I charge my parents to get into my shows. I only give tickets out to those who I necessarily want to, because the thing is I have to teach you to respect me as the businesswoman and respect me to the point where if you did not know my name. The thing about it is when it comes to your support, the support really is about the people whose names you don't know and not necessarily your family members and the people that you do know, because their support comes with condition. But those strangers and the people that really, the strangers who don't know you and don't know you personally, those are the people who are really your support. And so for me, that's who I brand myself to accommodate. So everything that I do, I go over and beyond, probably spend way too much money on certain stuff because I want to be able to give you an experience. So when you walk away, you won't say that you came to a raggedy KOK show in the back of the church and and it was just like you getting top notch, you getting catered food for VIP, you get your name on the seat, you getting ushers that's well groomed, well together, like you're getting the whole nine yards. But I think as creatives, sometimes we got to understand that it's not just about our craft, but also in how we present it, and then also our attitude with it, because sometimes we can get too cocky with our creativity, but we also don't realize that we're missing relationship and we're missing how to network with other people. Like I told one girl, she was a makeup artist, but she talked about her clients on her social media. She was talking about they don't want to pay this, they don't want to do this, and they don't want to do that. But sometimes you got to realize where you are and what you can charge. Because sometimes, even if you are that creative, sometimes you can't come out the bat charging the most expensive things, because when you pay for luxury, you're paying for that brand, you're paying for the experience, you're not just paying for that craft. So sometimes we have to also learn how to work ourselves to get to that point where we can charge the top dollar. So it does have to be a balance in it. So when people walk away, they want to come back because of the experience.
Right. You're right. I actually, and we actually almost done. I was completely shocked at my book signing when I had like a good number of people there that I had never met in my life, ever.
Yeah.
Never knew their name, never seen them before, didn't follow them on Facebook. So I don't know how in the ham sandwich they found out about me, but they came and they supported. Or people that are on Facebook that to this day I've never met face to face, and they might not have came, but they still bought a ticket. So like, you gotta expand your mindset that it might not be your friends and your family that can give you the ride on out. It might not.
Right.
it's probably gonna be folks that you ain't never seen before. That you don't know nothing about their mama and their daddy, and they don't know nothing about yours. But that will be, but you gotta be open to it. Like a lot of times, and I know me personally, I get disappointed when my friends or my family don't show up or don't come through. But then I totally miss, like Chris said, you miss those other relationships that are birthed with you just operating in your gift.
Yeah.
Like if they don't come, that's cool because somebody got it. And you can't discredit the people that showed up for you just because it wasn't who you wanted or who you expected. So yeah, that was good. Y'all go ahead and share your businesses. And then we're gonna ride on out King Jesus. Well, we're not gonna ride with him because I'm not ready to go yet. But we gonna leave. Rock, paper, scissors. Somebody. Okay, Brittany raising her hand. She might only have.
I go while my child is quiet. So, well, everybody who knows me know that I do hair, and my biggest thing is braiding. You can follow me on Instagram. I don't post anything, honestly, right now. I don't post anything since the pandemic and everything happened. Before then, I wasn't good at posting anyway.
You sure wasn't.
Me and social media have never really been friends. I don't know why. I'm an old person. I don't know. But of course, everybody who knows me knows that I braid and stuff like that. But I've recently got into a new business where like I'm doing resin and here like the keychains and stuff.
Well, that's cute, Brent.
That's also
like, and this was like with my first time trying to do this resin
Hey, Chris,
stuff
on mute.
Keychains.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead, Brent.
It's all right. You had some stuff to say. Yeah, but like the keychains and stuff like that. Like I recently got into that. So I've like honestly planned to make a whole big business out of it. I don't necessarily know where to start, but I've started by, well, I guess I do know where to start by actually producing products.
Yeah.
And it's so much more that I have that's gonna come along with that, and I'm like extremely excited about it. So excited that I got my baby making one. He made one too, y'all. He wanted to make sure I showed y'all this, okay? But yeah, like different keychains and resin trays and the little ashtray things that the
but not for us, because we don't do that.
We don't. We not
don't can I get one? Close your nose. Close your nose up.
Can I get one? Morgan said, can she get one? I can't. We do. Okay. We're gonna talk offline about that, okay? I got you on that though. But yeah, like I really plan to expand the business. So I mean, if anybody can give me some like ideas on how to do business plans and stuff like that. I know Lee has tried to help me a lot, and I really appreciate her for it. So anything helps because I'm new to this. Like I'm used to working for somebody, but still kind of having my own in it when it comes to being at a hair salon. Mm-hmm. But I'm used to the plan already being made for me. So it's a new adventure, a new journey. I'm scared and excited all at the same time. So if you can support me, I'll be posting soon.
You gotta do like breaks.
Well, one thing I can tell you, Brittany, that you're definitely gonna have to do. You're gonna have to get out of that whole I don't post. Social media is your best friend in these times. Marketing yourself is the only way you're gonna get your face out there, especially in these COVID times where we can't be outside active, passing out cards and stuff. So your social media is definitely going to be where you are going to reach your customers.
See, listen, y'all can always learn stuff even from the people who younger than you. Don't think you too great grand that you can't, because that's my little sister. And she telling me about myself, and I appreciate it. Okay?
She get you all the way together.
She get me together. She get me
Well,
together.
What you be
doing? Come again, say what happened?
What you be doing with your life articles? What's your business?
I am the owner of Amara, the brand. Amara stands for A Mother Always Rises Above. So it's actually an acronym that just so happens to spell out an actual word. I wouldn't say it's focused on mothers, but it's focused on my come up. I'll say that, coming from the ashes of pretty much having absolutely nothing and making a way out of no way, being 25 and a mom of 3 and really not knowing which way's up, which way's down. But I am a jack of all trades. I can do hair. I make custom things. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. I don't think I can do that, can I? Okay, no, I can't. I don't see how I turn my camera around, but I actually made this fireplace from pamper boxes, construction paper, and
Yeah.
tape.
Oh my gosh.
I made the whole photo backdrop stand, but yes,
That's
the
my
actual
sister.
stand. I made the stand. I'm actually in the process of making tool pants. I don't know if y'all can y'all see them. So I'm making tool pants. I make custom tutus. I got your tutus. Don't come for my stand, y'all. I'm ghetto right now. But yes, I do everything. If you can name it and you want it made, 9 times out of 10, I can do it.
She did that, y'all.
Yes, I did the whole baby shower actually, including decorations and all of that good stuff. So I can do party planning.
Oh, there we go.
I'm actually new to this whole thing of getting started, but if you name it, I can do it.
Amen.
That's my sister, y'all. That's
Girl,
my sister.
30
We-
times.
And you can find me on IG at amara.thebrand. I'm not on Facebook. I am currently only on IG, but I am Amara. That is AMARA.thebrand. One word, THEBRAND.
Boom.
You need to be on the radio. Teach me how to
Chris.
do it, all right?
I can't. Chris.
Okay.
I know you gotta slide out. Go ahead.
All right. So I do stage productions, events, and that's Chronicles of Chris, which is my name on the bottom. I also have a podcast called Controversy. I also do
With a K.
with a K.
Boom.
Controversy with a K. I also do theatrical Bible studies and different Bible studies, kind of more so for the unchurched. It's called The Village. I also now have a Studio 27, which is a creative place for creatives if they need somewhere to come and do some work or come and do some writing. But it's also a photography studio as well. So that's The Village, Chronicles of Chris, and Studio 27.
Come through multiple. I hear that. Friend to tell your neighbor multiple. Nick.
I love y'all. I gotta get ready.
I know that's why I want you
Nice
to
meeting
All right,
you.
nice meeting you.
Nick.
I am a fashion stylist, designer. I've been doing it for almost 9 years, and I just sitting up here noticing my eyebrows aren't even.
I can't.
Y'all was looking like my eyebrows aren't even.
I'm not.
Anyway.
I'm not doing that today. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm mad, yo. I'm mad you didn't say nothing, and you sit up here let me look like my eyebrows aren't even. But,
I'm not
like,
saying you.
anyway.
Carry on. Go ahead.
Yeah, like one is like an inch height, like not even an inch, but like a half an inch height. Anyway,
Come on here.
like but no, that's what I do for a living. I've been doing it for 9 years, and I've been having a ball and a blast. You can find me on IG at Nicole Kier. Facebook at the same at Nicole Kier. I've been having a blast. I've been working for the NFL. I have worked for, I mean, you know who I worked for, Jennifer Lewis. That was like the most fun. Speaking of living single, I was still working for Kim Coles, but coronavirus messed that up. So, yeah. So,
Messed up a lot.
but yes, I've been having a blast. So hopefully I'll work with her next year. And everything opens back up.
You will. Go ahead. Brandon. Yeah, I take.
All right,
I'm
I gotta
about
do
to
this and not be old to forget. So I am, which will show from my tag. It can be found on Instagram at BD Songwriter because that's how I started all this. I'm a singer and I write music as well for myself and others. Attached to that, I actually do background vocals. I arrange background vocals. I teach background vocals. I'm a vocal trainer. So I run a vocal production camp called Voice by Brand Sean, where I literally take students in who have a gift and just need to be directed in the right way to spark off that. In addition to writing music, I also write just about everything else. So I am a published author working on my second book as we speak. My first project, The Cries from the Choir Loft, dropped back in 2019, actually. So that was my first published book. From that, two things kind of spawned. One, I now have actually launched Blind Creative Services, which is my own housing, somewhat of a publishing company, even for people who want to write books but do not deem themselves authors. So I'll take you in, we'll work on your project together, we'll get you published, and we'll get you going. Thanks to that as well, The Cries from the Choir Love, not just the book, it was also a stage play. I also write and produce stage plays. So I do all of that, and you can reach me at IG, at my IG for any of those things. I try to stay as open to the creativity as possible, and I have a feeling some other things are going to happen soon, and I'm nervous, but we're going to see. Because I can't sit there. It's terrible.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Hey, man. What? These Africans are dropping like flies. What in the heck?
I'm sorry, but
the benediction.
I was listening to you, okay, bro. I know you see me talking and stuff, but like my child was choking, so I had to make sure.
The only person that got excused from church early was Chris. I don't know what is going on. Okay, here comes the coach. She coming. Amen. I was about to say
before the benediction stuff happens.
I didn't. I swear I didn't. This is ghetto phone. Like I don't know what's going on.
Amen. All right, so we are wrapping up. I got some funny videos, and then we just gonna go on and be about our business. I want to thank you guys so much for joining the podcast today. I think that we helped one another a lot.
Yes, it was fun.
And we helped other people that may or may not have commented that are just really struggling with the fact that they're gifted and they don't necessarily know what to do with it. Or the fact that they're a little different than everyone else. They see things in full color.
Can I make the big announcement now?
The big announcement?
Yes.
I'm scared. With you, I'm scared.
No, I'm forgot about what we're talking about.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Why?
I don't, no. You gotta give me a minute to process.
No, I'm for real.
We gonna just, no. Wait. Nope. Not gonna be able to do it. Nope, I'm not. Okay, so here is to
I think that was enough.
The creativity.
Because it definitely has something to do with this.
Excuse me. I thought this was really cool. It kind of focuses in on creative matters. So I just want y'all to see this. That baby got a mop. Like something so simple, something so clean, like just it wasn't even that deep. And then this one, hold on, stop sharing, my bad. And then this is the other one, and then we're gonna end with living single, and we gonna go about our business. Here we go.
You're a poison, and I know that it's some tune. All my friends think you're vicious, and they say you're
y'all gotta wait for it get deep.
You keep dreaming and I'm scheming, yeah you do.
That eyeball look real.
Wow.
That's dope.
With crayons.
With crayon.
Let me get my children together because they use crayons every day. They better start drawing eyeballs around here.
She like, I'm about to put in the work.
I cannot. And we're going out of here with living single because I mean, it was just confirmation, so I'm gonna just go ahead and just play it. Bells ring, are you listening?
And I like no it's glistening. We're happy tonight. Walking it up with someone tonight.
All right, so I thank y'all a lot for joining.
Why you didn't play the whole thing?
Because that's all they had on there. Thank y'all a good bunch. The conversation was necessary, was needed. And just always remember to just stick to the gifts that God has given you. He gave them to you for a reason. If he didn't want you to have them, or if he didn't think you could handle them, he wouldn't have gave them to you. It's just a matter of us getting out of our own heads, our own feelings, worrying about what somebody else gonna think, say, or do. Like, you know, and understanding that your gift might not be for everybody, and that's okay. There's certain things that are for certain people, like iPhones. They just for the real smart people. You know, it might not be for everybody. But hey, you know, iPhones is where it's at. But it doesn't necessarily mean that what you have isn't valid. There's a very popular comedian. Well, not. I mean, she's popular to me. Her name is Nikita B. She's a gospel Christian comedian, and she gets on social media faithfully multiple times throughout the week. And sis be having like 13 people on there, and she gets on there day after day, week after week, and she is committed to it. All of her face-to-face shows are always sold out. So don't just go by what you see on social media, what likes you get on social media, who views your podcast or who views your pictures. Do what you do because you are gifted to do it. Do what you do because that is your passion. That is what wakes you up in the morning. That is your first thought. Ain't that what they said on Sister Act? If your first thought is getting up and singing, then you're supposed to be a singer, girl. But you know, that was Whoopi Goldberg. Y'all know
That was my movie.
Tyler Perry's supposed to be producing 3, so we'll see how that goes.
Girl, what you say, Morg?
I said message. I feel like you're talking to me.
I'm just saying, like you really, and I'm talking to myself because I told Nicole, I was like, I'm not finna do no more podcasts because it'd be like 3 people, and that's why
I said I want to make my announcement. You cut me off, but you know,
we're not doing that part. And then, like, people kept texting me, like my pastor was like, when's the next podcast? And I just didn't answer. I saw the text. I just kept scrolling. You know, somebody else would text me, or Brittany be like, when you doing the next podcast? And I'd be like, did you take some out for dinner? Did you take the chicken out the freezer? You know, so but you gotta stay committed to seeing your gift through, because you never know where it will take you. It might not take you to the place that you want to go, but it will take you somewhere. And so let's find out and see where somewhere is, because I'm gonna be on Ellen DeGeneres when this COVID go away.
Okay.
Boom. I love y'all. Y'all got me last
same time next week.
Well, we thank you for putting us on there.
Same time next week. Girl, go to bed.
I'm telling you, we gonna make this a regular podcast. You think I'm joking?
Anybody else got some comments that make sense?
I can tell her I'm gonna make this a regular podcast for her. She think I'm joking.
What? I have a question.
I have a question. Okay.
If you have a gift, does that mean you are supposed to use it?
Yes.
I don't think you can give it to you and you not.
That's why I'm trying to make. That's why I'm trying to make her a regular podcast.
So, Brittany, you sing. You sing too. You don't just do hair. You sing too.
I hear a call out.
Wait, it's a connection now. I
texted to you. I texted you.
Wait, the comments is going on.
I cannot hear you. What you said?
You can't hear, but can you see what your pastor said at the bottom?
No. Lee, you might just started an extra half an hour on that one.
Listen, my parents been throwing me under the bus this whole time. Okay, I've been seeing the comments. I've just been ignoring them.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You saw what BJ said. If you don't use it, he will take it from you.
Logan has
Logan has escaped. He don't have no clothes on.
You right. Don't.
You see our Morgan?
Okay. I'll see y'all next time here.
All right. I love y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you, Brandon, because I had asked multiple guys, but you know, I don't know what it is about men don't want people to know that they created. Like, I don't get
Listen,
it.
I don't mind being the only one. That's more for me. I'm good.
You right.
Okay.
And we appreciated your input.
Yeah.
Good on it.
All right. I love
Absolutely.
y'all.
It's been a pleasure.
Love you too. Thank you.
Well, before we go, I do want to say thank you, Lily. You know, I call you Meatball, but Lily, I want to say thank you for giving us this platform to even get up here to say anything and
Definitely
tell our business and promote ourselves. Because for some of us, me, This is the first step because we haven't
Yeah.
posted anything. Yeah, but we thank you here.
You say I'm Morgan?
Yeah.
Hi, Mari.
Hi,
Absolutely.
son.
All right, I love y'all. I'm finna end this because I don't want the Saints. I don't want y'all Saints. Y'all 4 Saints going left. I'm gonna make
All right.
it off of here.